grabbing a memory card tomorrow, and then I'll start recording on that. So my audio will be much better, you know. My audio will be much better, and the video. So what's going on, y'all? I know it's been a minute. You know, I want to thank the subscribers who subscribed. I can't be on here and not touch certain topics that's out there, but I do want to inform you guys that this is not a station where as though I'm going to be sitting here entertaining a lot of dirty stuff, a lot of dirty gossip news. We in the city of Philadelphia, yeah. But when you talking to us, when you on this podcast, the vibes are more of the hip hop vibe. You know what I'm saying? So right now, with that being said, I'm gonna applaud hip hop. Okay. I don't want to talk about all the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because when it comes down to artists, when it comes down to art, you got to be able to separate the art from the artist. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? When we talk about, especially when you start talking about Epstein, you start talking about, you know, all these people dealing with these sexual stuff and all that. When I was growing up, all that shit was attributed to the rock stars. You know what I'm saying? Like Mick Jagger and all them motherfuckers, Ozzy Osbourne, all those real punk rockers back in the day. You used to hear the stories from them, you know, about all the freaky stuff they used to do behind stage and going to the. I remember hearing a story when I was young about Mick Jagger, and they said that he had rushed to the hospital, and it was like, what was that? He had to pump his stomach because he had a stomach full of what can I say, fluids. Yeah, his stomach was full of fluids that shouldn't have been in his stomach. You know what I'm saying? If you get my drift. So as a kid, hearing that shit, you know, I'm like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? You know what I mean? But that was only attributed to them at that time. You know what I mean? Those real crazy rock stars who was just, you know, and women didn't even care. I remember I went to school with some white girls, and I'd be like, man, you deal with that dude. What was the dude? One of them rock stars. He used to, you know, he was giving head on stage. He was doing all kinds of crazy stuff, drinking cum and shit. He was drinking. Trust me, I heard it all. I never thought hip hop had that shit in it. You know what I'm saying? Until I start coming on the internet and hearing people's stories about our pioneers being into that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what kind of like, you know, you got to re-educate yourself on the history now. You know what I mean? But if you can't separate the art from the artist, this is when you get lost, where the lines get blurred. Even now, with all the shit going on, with all these different podcasts, the Philly beef, let's call it Philly beef. You know what I mean? Let's just say, I'm not even going to get into no names, none of that shit. I'm about hip hop. All right, before I talk about this shit, hip hop shit again. Once again, my name is Black Freddy, aka Buzz on the Track, aka Talib the Barber, aka Philly D. Williams. I wear a lot of hats, man. You know what I'm saying? We in the city where it's a lot of different people. It's a different sections in the city, even though the city ain't that big. But it doesn't matter where I go, because I'm always going to be somewhere in the foxhole doing my thing. I am hip hop. I experienced hip hop at a young age. When I say experience it, I ain't just listen to it. I experienced every element of it, from graffiti, from MCing. I DJ'd when we were young. We had to DJ our own parties. You know what I mean? We had to find a DJ. We DJ. I'm still doing it to now. You know what I mean? Everything. MCing, graffiti, DJing, barbering. Like I was saying, we feel that's an element. I want to show y'all something. If you from the city, right? See this right here? Let me see if you can see this label. Try to get close. What that label say? For any hip hop head, if you're a real hip hop head, you know what that means. You see that album. You already know who this is. So now listen. If you didn't see, if you couldn't make it out, it says Funko Mart. Okay? So that should give you an example or idea of the depths. That was Funko Mart in Philadelphia is the equivalent of, I don't know, let's say the Coliseum in Queens, or the Coliseum on Linden Boulevard. That's probably the equivalent of that the landmark, even though it's not there no more though. Funko Mart was basically the original smoke shop, it seemed like, you know what I mean? I used to go there as a kid, accompanied by my stepsister, because she had to take me, because she was making, we both were adopted. So when my adopted mother was gone, she couldn't leave nowhere, she couldn't go nowhere without me, so she was taking me everywhere. So I credit my sister, you know what I'm saying, my first experience going to Funko Mart as a kid, you know what I mean? Funko Mart, if you didn't know, it was where you go buy your vinyl records. You go down there, but you go down to a couple levels. You hear all the latest music and all that from out of New York, out of different places. Mixtapes coming through, you know what I mean? Because back then it wasn't on the radio so much. So if you go to Funko Mart, you start hearing shit that you ain't never heard before. You're like, damn, rap. You know what I'm saying? Curtis Blow and all that shit was out. Back then, I think my sister was going down to buy that, remember the Maestro? Maestro, everybody around the nation, I'm going to give you some information, some stimulation, some stimulation. Y'all remember the old Maestro, you know what I mean? She went to buy that album, and I remember that album, you know what I'm saying? Super Rhyme, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, we were reciting that, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm a hip-hop head. And with that being said, once again, let me go ahead and turn this I'm clapping because, as you see, the question is B-boy or D-boy? B-boy or D-boy? That's the question. What are you? All right. Of course, I'm a B-boy. All right. Matter of fact, Alexa, what is a B-boy?
B-Boys is a YouTuber with 2,200,000 subscribers. Since creating their channel on June 12th...
Alexa, stop. Alexa, give me the definition of B-boy. One more time, y'all. Alexa, what's the definition of B-boy?
According to Wikipedia, breakdancing or breaking, also called b-boying or b-girling, is a style of street dance developed by African Americans and Puerto Ricans in the Bronx borough of New York City.
You know what that is? This is my B-boy stance, okay? I'm a B-boy, okay? And B-boys right now, we are happy. We've been waiting for this moment in time, okay? Let me break it down to y'all. We're gonna change the narrative. We ain't gonna talk about Jay-Z and fucking Gilly the Kid and Beanie Siegel, all these different Meek Mills, all these different beefs in our city. You know what I mean? We're not gonna talk about that. Not here. We're gonna talk about hip hop, because I'm a hip hop head, okay? All right. And for all you guys out there like me who are hip hop heads, you don't have to be in the industry. You don't have to have been in the industry as a rapper or signed to some other nigga or whatever to be a hip hop head. All right. I experienced every element of hip hop as a child. Okay. I don't think the children nowadays understand that. Okay. Hip hop when I was a child, that's all we had. We didn't have fucking. I mean, this was before Atari came out. You know what I'm saying? So before Atari and certain things that you can do, and how we had those little handheld football games and all that shit, but we had hip hop, okay? And we didn't just listen to it, we experienced every element of it. Shout out to KRS-One. Me personally, I've got cited for writing on the wall, you know what I mean, or tagging, you know what I'm saying? This is what we used to do, you know what I'm saying? We used to break dance, okay? Everybody in the crew had a move that we had to make. I don't care if you had a backspin or you just popped the pop lock, the electric boogie, or you had a vicious windmill, or vicious footwork, whatever. You know what I mean? We formed a cipher, the circle, and we did our thing. We felt as though that was, when we growing up, we felt that was the way of life. That was what we had to do. This was something that hit our culture. You know what I mean? And it was us. It was our slang. It was our way of our talking to one another. You know what I'm saying? Okay? MCing. We've been rhyming. I experienced MCing at a real young age. I didn't hear it from New York. I didn't hear it from LA or nowhere else like that. I heard it from where I was at in Philadelphia as a young child. I watched two old heads, some boy named Cool V and some boy named Rock Savage. And I snuck out at a party because I always heard about these rap people rapping on the mic and the DJing. So I was snuck in the party, man. You know what I mean? And I got to see, experience the brothers on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Flowing. You know what I'm saying? Back and forth. You know what I mean? Sweat and shit. You know what I mean? Had the crowd flowing with them. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what I'm saying? I was hooked from the door. You know what I'm saying? The DJs. You know, my man Stump Levine. I come from a place called the Crease, where it was split down the middle. You had Crestmont and the Heights. You had DJs and MCs on one side and DJs and MCs on that side. Break dancers on that side, break dancers on this side. So it was, come on, man. I'm trying to give you a little history of who I am. You know what I'm saying? Buzz on the track, Black Freddie, all these different people. It's just a hip hop head, man. And all the people, and most of the people that's on this page are hopefully your hip hop heads as well. And we've been waiting for this era. We've been waiting. I know you're like, what the fuck have we been waiting for? Nigga, we've been waiting. You know what the fuck we've been waiting for. You see what's going on now. You see the shift. You see the shift in hip hop. You see what it is the B-boys were waiting for this. So people like Nas, okay? Shout out to Nas, Nasir. All that hip hop dead stuff. Now, that might have been some type of allegory, metaphor, how he was kicking it, but some people was taking it like he was trying to say hip hop was dead. You know what I mean? Maybe he was thinking that hip hop was dead. I never thought hip hop was dead. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop ain't dead. Hip hop was just on the sidelines waiting. You know what I'm saying? Us. You know what I mean? I'm 50 plus, man. You know what I'm saying? So you might say, look at this nigga, 50 plus. I'm letting you know who I am, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm Muslim. But hip hop is my religion. Okay? Hip hop, my wife knows that. My first wife knows that. My second wife knows that. My children know that. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? And everybody who fucks with knows that. So, that being said, shout out to Cassidy, okay? Cassidy from the city, okay? The man is a barsmith. We all know that, okay? He is a barsmith. And this is why people don't understand. Okay, listen. This is my opinion. Okay? Because everybody got one, right? All right? This is my opinion about Cassidy and why people, you know, why is it's a blurred line there between him being a goat or him being outdated, like they may say. A lot of people say he's outdated. Okay. All right. Again, hip hop. We want to clap for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because hip hop is never dead. Excuse me. It was just on the sidelines. Pure hip hop was on the sidelines. Now getting back to Cassidy. Rap has evolved. Okay? All right? Just like I'm a barber. Okay? And I know barbering has evolved. Okay? That's like me, you know, trying to take some old, well, not me, because I'm still, you know, relevant. I'm just saying as far as barbering, because I let's just say my old heads that used to cut me. They're not going to go to a barber showdown with one of these new barbers doing that old shit. You know what I'm saying? They be looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? On the display, like you looking like mediocre now. You know what I'm saying? These right now we doing all kind of, we doing all that kind of. We gonna make the lines look perfect. You know what I mean? Where you old head dude, we probably just gonna hook you up with a little bit of this. Hit you with the duster. You know what I mean? He ain't gonna use the razor. He might use the razor, but he ain't going in like that. You know what I'm saying? But he's still tight. He's tight though. You know what I'm saying? He's tight. And that's the same thing with Cassidy, I think. I think that now I've heard something recently from Cassidy that made me think like, okay, all right, he's listening to niggas now. You know what I'm saying? He's listening to niggas. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you the reason why Cassidy can't beat none of these niggas right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't got nothing to do with his bars. The reason why Cassidy can't beat none of these niggas right now is because Cassidy is not funny. He has like a dry humor type of thing. And right now, you got to do the math on what's going on. That's why they should call me Formula 44B, okay? For you old heads who know what Formula 44D is, okay? Well, they should call me Formula 44B because I know the formula to shit. You know what I'm saying? Cassidy's formula is never going to work because he's not funny, okay? I'm funny, okay? People tell me that all the time, and I'll be funny by accident. You know what I mean? So when I rhyme, and if I'm rhyming, and if it's a punchline situation that we got to do, then I'm always going to win, or at least going to be in top 10 because I'm funny and I'm going to make the crowd. I'm funny and I'm witty, okay, and I have patience, okay. You might not get it, but I'm gonna make sure you get it. When you get it, okay, I got it, okay. But Cassidy is not funny, okay. And in today's rap has evolved. The battlefield has evolved, where it's more showmanship, it's more antics, it's more spoken word, cleverly spoken word, and you have to be funny. You want to be amusing a little. It's like it's comedy. You know what I'm saying? What? If you don't believe me, just listen to all the battles and what are the most things that people do. You don't got to be up there slapstick comedy, all this crazy stuff. But I'm just saying, it has to hit hard. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to deliver it hard. It's not about how many words you can say and how many prolific things you can say and wordplay and all that stuff, because these niggas ain't thinking that fast. They waiting for the last shit you got to say, and then you might have said all this prolific shit, and then at the end the punchline don't hit, and then you wonder why people like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying this to say anything. I'm saying this because I want my mans to win. You know what I'm saying? We from the city, all right? I'm a barber, okay? That's my main thing. That's my foundation. If I shut these cameras off and say fuck it all that, I'm still going to get my bread. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't get it, I'll put some youngers in here and I'll rent chairs or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm going to get my bread some kind of way. If not here, somewhere else. Inshallah. Okay? So, we're not going to knock nobody for getting any bread, but I'm not going to stand by and let my subscribers think that I'm not talking about certain topics because I'm scared to talk about a topic, and I just don't. It's just not me, and I don't want my viewers to be expecting that kind of shit. Okay, so like I said, bars are back. Okay, not only is bars back, but we have a sighting of T.I. Okay, T.I. has shaved his head. Okay, not only has he shaved his head, he's got his swagger back, okay? He got his swagger back, all right? And he all the B-boys, because he's a B-boy too, okay? He's B-boy / D-boy, but he's a B-boy. Because when T.I. first came out, the 24s and all that, when his first album, when he first came out, man, he sounded like an East Coast nigga in a way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he is East Coast because he's down south, but he's a dirty South nigga. But I'm just saying, he still had that East Coast punches and shit, his cadence and shit. You know what I'm saying? But now he's back with it again. He back with that game. He ain't back with the mumble rap. He's going in again. He shaved his head, and as barbers, as us as barbers, we like to see people shave their head, man, and get the fresh cuts. You know what I mean? Now all we got to do now is wait. Now that's kind of crazy because I already said this a long time ago when about jigging. I said, come on now, we need jigging to go ahead, go to the shop, go with his man or whatever. You know what I mean? Go get a Caesar. You know what I'm saying? Get it done up again. And get back in the booth, man. You know what I mean? And start going in, man. And start letting everybody talk about who, what, and what's going on. Speak, man. Get it in the booth. And just the same. That's the same thing I feel about Philly beefs. All this stuff about, you know, he said this and that. Unless it's already choreographed behind the scenes, this shit is corny. You know what I mean? That's why I say other niggas in this other cities is doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? If you want beef, put it on wax. You know what I mean? Put the shit on wax. You heard? Put the shit on wax, that way everybody can win. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Everybody can win. Put it on wax. Bring the hip hop back. That's what it is. That's where it started, man. But that's how we started. When I was a kid, we was battling. We was battling, man. And we were basically creating a lane, okay? Where even with the breakdancing, we were running around looking for cardboard to spin on, you know what I mean? And it seems like every time we as a people would have something that we do, this is what we do. In our hood, we didn't care. It wasn't no crime. It wasn't no, you know, we was battling each other, breakdancing and popping and all that. You know what I'm saying? And they don't like this shit. People don't like that. The people at LB didn't like that. So it seemed like at one time when I was a kid, it was so many people on corners spinning on their head. You see people over there in groups. They was breaking. They would think it's a fight. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, after a while, they knew it wasn't a fight. They just was mad that they wasn't involved. So then you start seeing on the news. I don't know how old my viewers are, but when I was a kid, I started seeing on the news about they was trying to tell people stop breakdancing. You know what I'm saying? They was telling people to stop breakdancing because they were saying that it was hazardous to your fucking health. They were saying making you lose your hair, you could break your neck, and all these different things about your bones and all that. It was like, yeah, it was like discouraging us as a kid to stop doing that. And that was like, that's all we had. Like I told you, that's all we had. You know, we were writing on the walls. I mean, it wasn't right. It wasn't right. But we seen what we seen. We seen like, damn, we could probably be. Then when Beach Street came out, remember Beach Street and Wild Style and all that shit? We was like, damn, we could probably make a living off graffiti and shit. So you have, like me personally, I was doing a lot. I was rapping, battling dudes in school, okay? Crushing dudes, you know what I'm saying? Trying to sound like Rakim and shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to sound like the best rapper at the best time, you know what I'm saying? Because we wanted to be the best, you know, we in the city. And I always thought that the best rappers at that time were, like in the late 80s, were like Rakim, Cool G Rap, shit like that. But, you know, in my city, when I was growing, with my real idols when I was growing up as a young kid, before I even heard niggas in New York, it was a brother by the name of Perry P. in Grand Tone. They came to my school and they performed, and it was electric. You know, we had Bull and the Captain Boogie, you know, Lady B, you know, she came there. We had a local homegirl named Nita G. And, you know, when God rest her soul, she was on stage with Lady B, and it was just a real beautiful time, you know, in my life when I was young. And Perry P, to see Perry P, and all I heard was him on tapes when I was a kid, you know what I mean? Because I lived so close to Uptown, and that's where they was from, you know what I'm saying? As I told you, I'm from the Crease, and the Crease and the Uptown is just like this, you know what I'm saying? It's just the outskirts of the city. So where most, and mind you, all right, let me get on that topic too. Most brothers from outskirts, you know what I mean? Maybe like some brothers from the suburbs. I ain't talking about dudes from the suburbs that probably ain't never been nowhere else, just been in the suburb. I'm talking about dudes in the suburbs who live in the city and in the suburbs. I call them hybrids. You know what I'm saying? Not the suburbs, but if you can experience the inner part of the city, all what it's about, and be able to be somewhere else and experience that, you know what I mean, on big levels, it's a balance that makes you a hybrid. Because I know brothers that's in the suburbs that don't they hate to drive in the city, don't want to come in the city, they don't want to deal with none of the stores in the city, they stay where they stay, okay? And then I got some brothers in the city, you know what I mean, who would never, don't want to go out their comfort zone of the city. You know what I'm saying? So those two kind of people, you know, they're at a disadvantage, you know what I mean, when you compare them to the hybrids. Somebody like, all right, let's compare somebody in New York, hybrids to me, okay? Rakim, a hybrid, okay? Wu-Tang, hybrid niggas, okay? Jada the Lot, hybrid niggas, man. These cats are not just one-dimensional, okay? These cats, Jadakiss be in Philly. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas is from Yonkers. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's one. I guess it's like part of the borough, but it's their. They got another experience on this side and that side that another motherfucker can't say. You know what I mean? They probably can function a little better in different circles than another kind of brother who just is bogged down to one specific location or geographical location. You know what I'm saying? So I know some brothers in the city, like I hear brothers on podcasts, man, talking crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's amusing. It's funny as hell. Like all right, listen, my man Oskino Vesquez. I do not know this nigga, okay? I'm 54. He's an old head nigga. I mean, I know the nigga from rapping, but I'm just saying, like I've told you before, the city's small. I don't know him, okay? Personally, I don't know none of them cats. I'm in West Philly by way of Crestmont, you know what I'm saying? By way of the feds for 15 and a half years. So I was out of the loop for a lot of that music, a lot of the street politics, you know what I'm saying? I was able to come home and collect some things, you know what I mean, and get my barbering and get my publishing and all that shit straight for the music that I started before I left. And this is what I do. And now, as far as podcasting, it's forcing you to get in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? To make some bread. Now, do you want to be messy or do you want to be you know, cleverly, you know, do it like that? Now, there's one other thing I want to talk to you about. When I talk to you guys, it's coming from my experiences, you know, and the wisdom that I come from. You know what I mean? I don't get a lot of my information from other podcasters. Now I understand the algorithms. This right here is not even made for the algorithms. You know, this is for the people who subscribe and trying to figure out who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hip hop head. You know, right now I'm congratulating hip hop for turning that corner. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because hip hop, when it was created, it was created to give the voice to the voiceless, right? All right. It was so strong, and it's been so strong that when it's in the hands of others, it can be mistreated and directed in a way where as though it can be harmful. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you from my experiences when I thought the shift that hip hop became too scary for the powers that may be, whatever, when Public Enemy came out. Okay. It wasn't really tripping about KRS-One, you know what I mean? Not just yet, you know what I'm saying? Even though he was giving, like, I learned a lot from KRS-One, you know what I mean? I learned, you know, a lot because I wasn't born Muslim, you know what I'm saying? And people who are born Muslim, they eat better. They think better. They know more about, more in tune with God. You know what I mean? I believe. You know what I mean? You know, so I wasn't Muslim. You know what I mean? So I hold up. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, so let's get back to the Vesquino, okay? I don't know that cat, you know what I'm saying? But me and my people, we laughing and shit, and be like, yo, these niggas is funny as shit. You know what I'm saying? However, you know, Beanie Siegels and all that other shit, like I said, if he did that shit to him, you know what I mean? Or wherever the fuck he's talking about, you know, I guess he got where he coming, but not. Some of that shit is corny, you know what I'm saying? It needs to be played out on wax, you know what I mean? If anything, what a diss song at, man? You know what I mean? Come on, man. That way he can come with a diss song, then maybe somebody else can come and do something, and then, you know what I mean? It could be, you know, it could be a collaborative type thing where people getting bread, you know what I mean? Other than that, you know what I mean? How many podcasts can you go on talking about a nigga? You know what I mean? I mean, damn. I don't want nobody talking about me that much. I really don't want nobody talking about me that much. You know what I mean? When somebody talking about that much, yo, fucking what be itching? I thought your ears be itching again. I forgot what it was. That's crazy. Now, like I said, that Epstein shit, that's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Because now they involved in all these rappers and shit. I mean, damn. That's crazy. I want to talk about something though. It seemed like y'all noticed that dude who been I think Trump appointed this nigga. All right, he been busting everybody's ass. What is he? I think he's like from a Middle Eastern dude anyway. He's either director of the FBI or he has something to do with the FBI. He's always on the news. He done ran up in Kensington, busted that shit on down. What else he done did? I think he did something about well, I know recently they just busted the Latin Kings. Okay, oh yeah, he busted the Spanish boys down north. You know, that ring down there. I mean, I'm talking about big buses, man. Who else he done did? He did some other shit. Oh, he been involved with the NBA shit too. He been busted them niggas too. What is this nigga name? I forgot his name. Y'all know who I'm talking about, man. I don't know. He looks like he's Indian or something, but he's always he was even talking shit to Stephen A. Smith, because Stephen A. Smith was like, damn, nigga, you know what I mean? And the boy was like, shut up before I come get you. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, that shit getting fucking crazy. But yeah, I just want to say thank y'all, man, and please hit the like button, man, and subscribe, please. You know what I'm saying? Evidently, that's what's going on with this. They YouTube, that's what's going on. I got some interviews coming up, y'all. As I told y'all before, I like to interview the normal person, man. You know what I mean? The people in the hood, people who really ain't got no voice. You know what I mean? Because everybody is interviewing celebrities. You know what I mean? And celebrities, they got their own different problems and all that. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's not even relatable. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't care how much money you got. You can come in here and be broke, man. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to kick it. I got time on my hand. I made it away, whereas though my bread is cool. All right. So I don't have to make millions and trillions of dollars on YouTube and of course everybody wants to make their money and make their bread, but I don't want it to the point where as though it's going to compromise who I am and who I interact with. and who comes to my page. Because I might want to interview a bull. I might want to interview a nigga from the city. But, you know, we're not going to go there with that. You know what I mean? You can't. You know what I mean? I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thirsty like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I can get on here and say all kind of crazy stuff. But as I told y'all before, man, we got to watch our tongue. We have to watch that tongue, man. Because the more you talk, the more likely you might say the wrong shit. Especially when you start talking about people's religion and shit. I know people that they not even really tripping. As soon as they hear the wrong thing, boy, it's over. It's like you got fans in sport, you got fanatics, man, in anything. You got extremism and all kind of stuff, man. So you got to watch those lines that you cross, man. Got to. You know what I mean? Unless you don't care. Like, but you need to care. You know what I mean? Because it ain't about you. You ain't the only one on this planet that can be affected. What are they talking about?
Oh my God! Now they got 2 lawsuits from 2 light-skinned about these niggas is fucking hip-hop up. UMG ain't gonna want to deal with rappers anymore, just Kendrick.
You hear that? So she was talking about J. Cole lawsuit to Cameron. You know what I mean? That's the kind of shit you want when you put on YouTube. That's what you want to hear. Like I just randomly just put on YouTube just to see what was going on. That's what they talking about, man. You're talking about that kind of shit, man. And I want to talk about bars. Let's get back to Cassidy. The man is a scientist. He's almost like, I can't say Eminem. Eminem. What can I say about Eminem? This is what I'm gonna say about Eminem. I'm gonna say something about Eminem. Like, matter of fact, I might as well give it to y'all now, because I know y'all gonna ask me one day, what is Black Freddy's top 5? Dead or alive? And guess what? I'm gonna give y'all an answer y'all probably never even heard before. It'll be a long ass answer. Why? You know why? Because you can't do it like that. I told you I'm a hip hop head. Okay? So I'm not gonna give you the same answer that the same another motherfucker gave you. Alright? I'm gonna give you the true answer, the real answer, okay? The pure answer, okay? And before I give you the answer, I'm gonna tell you why the B-boys know. We knew that all we had to do is and wait. You know why? Because I'm going to equate it to. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it in a D-boys definition. Okay. The streets was flooded with motherfucking Hussein, basically. It was flooded with comeback. It was flooded with Ready Rock, fake Ready Rock, whatever. It might have been real, but it was cut, stepped on. You know what I mean? Nike prints all over that shit. But it was all over the streets. It was flooded. Niggas had big bags of that shit. But then you had some niggas in the basement with them oils. You know what I mean? With the smoker say they got head on it, like a hell of a head on it. They got that pure shit. You know what I mean? And once that pure shit start leaking on the streets, people don't want that damn cut shit no more. And that's what pure hip hop is, man. It takes over the streets first, and then it reaches corporate. And if you learned anything, learn that Kendrick Lamar got all those Grammys from an independent album. And so he's showing everybody in the world that you can do it. And when I say you brothers need to put it on wax, I mean that, brother. Take it back to the wax. If you're a rapper and you already got fans and they waiting for you to drop, you don't need nobody else but money. Go get some wax. Go get the wax. Forget streams. Put it on wax. Take it back. See, a lot of these dudes don't got daughters and grandsons and nieces and all. See, I got daughters. I listen to them, okay? They tell me things. They be like, Dad, you know, I'm like, what y'all doing tonight? You know what I'm saying? They be going to these little listening parties. So somebody might pull out a record player and they'll find some vinyls and listen to them and all. That's just shit's exclusive to them. So it's nothing new under the sun, man. Who is going to do this? Back in the day, we used to go to Jersey and go to disc makers and get crates and get the DAT machine, get the shit pressed up, man, and sell them joints. Why can't you do that again, man? People if you got fans who want to hear an album from you exclusively, why can't you, even if you got to buy them a goddamn record player to go with it, why can't you yourself say, forget everybody, okay? Go get your shit pressed up, get crates of that shit and sell it, okay? People don't care about bootleg. They want the original thing that you got. You might even got a little surprise in the joint. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about. This is what hip hop does. This is what we do with hip hop. All right? Stop complaining. You already got the fan base. Create a product that can get to them, or let them come to you to get it. Stop being greedy. Get what you can get, and do the footwork. You don't have to be pimped. But once you sign something on the dotted line, you can't do that. Trust me. If I got 50 songs that's high power right now, okay, and I put it on wax and I get a fly ass album cover and I say, bam, don't nobody got these songs. I got, what's the name, about Petey Crack on it, I got Beans on it, I got everybody on this album. Okay? And I'm getting ready to throw this big ass bash. And at the door, the first 50 motherfuckers get a free album. But if you don't get there, boy, them joints going for $10 a piece. I got a whole truck full of these joints. Is you really a hustler? So hip hop ain't dead, man. It never was dead, man. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop was just doing this. Chilling in the B-boy stand. Hey, listen, man. That's my take on that, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Once again, hip hop is back, y'all. Hip hop is back.